Rotherham United 1, Swansea City 3. Let's get into a quick match review on this one. So guys, the game ended Rotherham 1, Swansea City 3. A really hard fought game for Swansea in this one. Come away comfortable winners in the end, but in all fairness to Rotherham, they really gave us a hard go at it, especially in that first half. Came out fighting in the second half as well, so really made a good effort of it. But thankfully the Swans come away, as I say, 3-1 winners. So the first goal came in the 28th minute. Conor Hourihane's second goal in 2 games. Andre Ayew picking the ball up and driving through the midfield really well. A bit of an overhit pass for Roberts, who just got the ball on the byline, and a lovely dinked chip. It went over everyone, but there was Jamal at the back post, took control of it, got his head up, picked out Jan Dander just inside the box by the penalty spot, and he immediately saw Conor Hourihane lining up ready for it. Took one touch, laid it straight off in front of Conor Hourihane. Left foot, drilled with the outside of the foot, went past everyone. I think the defenders and the keeper thought it was going wide. Keeper kind of watched it. Defender again looked at it go past him. Easily could have stuck out a leg, but for some reason chose not to, in case it maybe took a deflection and went back in goal. But an absolutely stunning finish from Hourihane to get his second in 2 games for the Swans. And he's been a massive impact in that midfield, linking up play as well with Grimes, building that attacking forward momentum through the midfield for Andre and Jamal. Unfortunately, neither of those have been able to get on the score sheet in the last few games, but it's coming. They'll get back to their scoring ways. It took a little while then, another 10 minutes for us to get the second goal. A brilliantly well-worked corner. Played right into the mix again by Hourihane. His deliveries from set pieces has improved our squad massively. It allows people like Grimes, who would be taking those set pieces, and to be fair, not the best set piece takers. It allows them to pick up a position on the edge of the box, a creative opportunity, or even a shooting opportunity, and we're seeing the rewards that Grimes falling into a new position from set pieces. Corner was played in, keeper punched it out. No Rotherham defenders rushed out at all. The keeper sort of did like a backwards roll and very lazy and lackadaisical in getting up. Grimes must have noticed that straight away, because full pace, runs straight onto the ball. Left foot, he's been learning from Hourihane. Bottom left hand corner, straight past the goalkeeper. He dove for it, but he just took way too long to set himself. As I say, no defenders pushed out and tried to close that space. Grimes capitalised on it, realised, those two sort of incidents, no one was closing me down. Keeper's not even got up properly and set himself. I'm just going to hit this and see where it goes. And it went straight into the bottom left-hand corner. A fantastic second goal for Grimes, and again, another screamer. Brilliant effort. So 2-0 up at half-time. In fairness to Rotherham, they came out that second half and just went straight at us. And they looked the most likely to score, and then they did on the 65th minute. It was a long throw played in by Hardin. In fairness to him, he's got one hell of a throw. It certainly beats the sort of length that Roberts can get on his. It was flicked on by Bidwell towards the back post. It looked like Bidwell was being pushed. He was definitely off weight. He headed the ball backwards. You'd be defending it, you'd headed it forwards, but you headed it backwards, went towards the back post, and there was Ladupo, who'd come on as a substitution, and he towered over Roberts and beat Woodman in the bottom left-hand corner as well. A very good, well-worked goal. Again, those long throws, we're seeing more and more of them in the Championship this season especially, and if you've got it in the locker, use it, because it's basically like a set piece. It's basically as good as a corner from, if you're in an attacking position from a throw-in. We've seen what Roberts can do with it, and if you watch the game or seen the highlights today, Hardin's long throw was something to behold, and if you've got it in the locker, use it. The game went on a little bit. We needed to sort of make some substitutions. If you were in the live stream today, we were all calling for a few subs. The game was building in Rotherham's favour. They were building momentum. They were looking likely to get an equaliser. They certainly looked like scoring next. And had they got an equaliser, the game may have ended a little bit differently. Who knows whether we would have seen Morris come on a little bit sooner. But that wasn't to be. Jay Fulton came on, the man we were all wondering why he wasn't on the starting 11 at the start of the game. But obviously Cooper had his reasons for that. And made a very well timed substitution. Fulton came on in the 74th minute for Jan Dander, and 30 seconds later he's put the ball in the back of the net. I think his first touch was winning the ball back. He played it off to Andre Ayew. He skipped past two players, laid the ball off for Bidwell. Fulton must have just been pelting it, because the way he hit the ball, he was still going at full pace. As soon as he connected with it, he sort of spun backwards, fell over to the ground, and then run off celebrating. And Jan Dander was still only behind the goals and was able to celebrate with the boys for Jay's goal. It came that quick, literally a massive impact. Substituted on at the 74th minute, ball in the back of the net in the 74th minute. You can't ask anything more from an impact sub. Clearly, Cooper had the plans in place for Fulton today in the midfield. We were set up really well. We sort of managed the game out as best we could. It would have been nice to have kept the clean sheet. The defending from that goal was a little bit sloppy. But in fairness, it looked like Bidwell was fouled, and Roberts was never going to beat his man for that goal. But it was, like I say, it was more comfortable than certain points of the game looked, because it did look like Rotherham were going to get right back in it with an equaliser. 83rd minute then, we did see the debut appearance for Jordan Morris, the lone player from Seattle Sounders that we've got in. Promising words from Cooper in the post-match press conference, saying he's already been impressed with Jordan in training. So hopefully we can see that. Cooper also said he would have liked to have brought Jordan on, and the plans are to bring Jordan on just before we had scored. But then we picked up the goal, so he wanted to leave that a little bit longer. Who knows whether he'll feature a bit more against Norwich on Friday night. If you're about, don't forget to drop into the stream. The game is 8:15 kickoff, so we'll be live at about 5 to 10 to 8 for a bit of a build up, and then getting straight into the game. So it'd be nice, if we can see a bit more of him. He almost got an assist a little bit later on in the game. Guy getting a header on sort of. I'm not even sure if he'd got the assist, to be fair. It looked like a bit of a scramble in defence. Morris and one of the defenders went up for the ball with their feet. The ball bounced on to Guy. He got the header away. The keeper tipped it over for a corner. And it could have been, again, another great introduction from a substitute, but it wasn't to be. He played out the game. He did okay. He had one offside opportunity. He had a chance to break away from within our own half. He had an open field sort of in front of him, but unfortunately a heavy touch allowed two of the defenders to sort of close him down. So it'll be interesting to see if he does get a bit more game time with a bit of open pitch in front of him, whether he can show us his pace, and what if he actually gets an opportunity on goal, it would be good to see. But that didn't come today, so hopefully that can come against Norwich on Friday. Potential to be a top of the table clash. Brentford have a game in hand, which is against Bristol City. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday night. So if they win that, they will go above us by 1 point. That is the only unfortunate factor with Brentford's game in hand, and not us beating them on the midweek. Had we beaten them, their game in hand wouldn't have mattered whether they'd won, drawn or lost. But given that we drew, they're only one win away from overtaking us as long as they've got that game in hand. So hopefully Bristol City can do us a decent job, and hopefully Brentford will drop some points midweek. They won 7-2 today against Wickham. It was 2-2 at half-time. Whatever Thomas Frank said to them at half-time did everything it needed to do. So they're hot on our tails. Reading are performing really well. Who do you think is going to finish in the playoffs and in the top two at the end of the season? Let me know down in the comments. Also, drop your man of the match down in the comments from today's game against Rotherham. Rotherham got man of the match overall. I think he did very well. He'll get my man of the match as well. His goal was fantastic. His set pieces are on point. And he's pretty much transforming our midfield. It was definitely a midfield masterclass today. Unfortunately, we needed to make the Fulton change, because it did look like our midfield was a little bit weak at the point to where Rotherham looked like they were going to get that second goal. But the way that Fulton introduced himself straight away to the game, and the way that he helped defend later on in the game, it was just a midfield masterclass throughout the game today. Bit of injury news and updates after the game from Cooper. Cullen is out for pretty much the rest of the season. Wayne Routledge isn't going to be too far behind him as well, both picking up a knock in the FA Cup game against Forest. But as I say, a couple of injuries, they're going to be ruled out for majority of the season, so that now means we need to bring in some attacking options in depth. And there's been talk of a 20-year-old coming in from Derby. Not long after the game had finished, the reports had come out that we're looking to sign Morgan Whittaker from Derby County. He's a 20-year-old. He featured 16 times last season for Philip Cocu's side, and he's only featured 9 times this year. He's struggled to really introduce himself into the squad this season, but he's done really well for the under levels with Derby. I think he's got 23 goals in 37 games, something along those lines. It's some really, impressive stats in the unders. So whether he can introduce that into a first team environment, yet to be seen with Derby. We know what Cooper's like. We know he gets the best out of youngsters. Apparently, Cooper has worked with him before at the English under level. I haven't been able to find exactly too much online about that. Having a quick look. I'm not sure if he was in the same setup as Cooper was in charge at the same time. He's 20 now, which meant in the under-17s World Cup he would have been 16. So I'm not 100% sure if he was in it. I have seen some people mention online that that Cooper is well aware of him, knows an awful lot about him, and has worked with him in the past. So if you're aware of that, please let me know down in the comments. What do you think of that signing? It's a £700,000 permanent deal. For a 20-year-old, that is not going to be one lump sum up front, I don't believe. It'll likely be probably 350,000, maybe 300,000, and then installments, maybe appearances, goals, and then whether we get promoted to the Premier League or not. Given the position we're in, that's kind of a good bargaining chip to use. If we get promoted, to send a sort of a clause you can check in, a realistic clause as well at this point. We're second in the table, 10 points clear of dropping out of the playoffs, so we're in a very good position. But that'll be interesting to see if he does come in or not. We still then have one loan slot available, which would be interesting to see whether we bring in anybody to cover the right back or the centre back position. The centre back for me would be the ideal one. I haven't really looked around to see any players who would be ideal to sort of slot into our centre backs. But we do need some cover in there, especially other than the main three. We've got Latiboudier on the bench. And then just a bunch of youngsters. So it'll be interesting to see what we do come Monday. If there's any players you'd like to see come in, again, comment down below. But guys, again, for me, that's going to be it as far as today's match review. I haven't done one in a while. I've just been focusing on getting the live streams on point for you guys. We are super close now to 1,000 subscribers. As of the recording of this video, we're 995 subscribers. So as soon as we get to that 1,000 subscriber target, which we've been aiming for all this season, would have liked to have got it before Christmas, but it's only taken us a few more weeks, so I'm very happy with the growth of the channel. And the support you guys have been showing me has been absolutely fantastic. And when we get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, there's going to be an entrance for a prize, and you guys will be able to enter that in multiple different ways. And have the opportunity to have more entrances to the giveaway. It'll probably run for about 5 or 6 days, depending on when it does actually happen. So if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, like it. If you want to subscribe, get involved, guys. We have a great time on the live streams. You should definitely drop by if you don't. It's a great community we're building here, and as a thank you from me to you, I've sorted out a prize giveaway, so that will be something we'll be announcing in another video or on a live stream whenever it happens, guys. So have a fantastic week. Come on the Swans, and we will hopefully see you Friday night for the live stream on Total Swans TV, guys. See you guys real soon.